Hey everybody, this is Global Senior Sales Director Lauren Peterson, and I am coming at you today with a video on how I went from 0 leads on January 1st to over 350 leads in 27 days. I have to tell you, first of all, before I get into this, this is not an original idea. By no means did I come up with this myself. I actually saw a video on it, and for the life of me cannot remember the name of the director who posted it, which I feel absolutely terrible about. But I went back to try to find her name, and the group that it was in is no longer up and running. And so there's literally no way I can give kudos to this woman. But if you are out there watching this, thank you. I moved to a new city, you guys, and I had 0 contacts and 0 leads as of January 1st. And there's a whole backstory to that. Like, literally moved to a place where I knew nobody. And as a director, you can't just like sit and rest on the hopes and dreams of your team, because I can't be telling them to go do stuff if I'm not doing stuff. How much sense does that make? It makes 0 sense. Besides that, I'm in my power when I'm out in the field. What I did is set out facial boxes. Oh, I felt the same way. But you know what, you guys? There comes a point where you can either do the thing you don't really want to do, or you can just sit there and complain until the end of time and pretty much always be in the same place because you're unwilling to change or unwilling to do something that you don't so much love. I don't love facial boxes. I don't like going into places. I feel really uncomfortable doing it. It's definitely always a stretch for me to go do it. But you know what? It's a good stretch. It's a good exercise. And again, it's a lead by example sort of thing. So I can't be telling my team to go do facial boxes when I'm not even willing to go do them myself. I set a goal to set out 30 facial boxes. I want to show you the ones that I did. I got these documents from the Holiday Hangouts group. So the first one that I did looks like this. This box I got at Hobby Lobby. I think I got everything else at the dollar store because you don't want to spend a ton of money on this, you guys. And then this particular Enter to Win, basically it's for a $20 gift card and a makeover. Takeaways on this. Number one, I have taped the pen and attached it to this because the pens always disappear. I will tell you, they still disappear. Like, it's unbelievable that somebody literally would take the time to untape and untie the pen and steal it. Like, whatever. If that makes your day better, great. But it's like, I find it humorous. I do get entries on these, but my takeaways on it are they're a little big. Some of the places I went into, they're like, yeah, they kind of looked at it like this is sort of huge. Moving forward, kind of shying away from them because I think that they're too big. With that being said, I did set these out and I did have a lot of luck with them. You have to cut the hole in the top. It looks like a 2-year-old did that. And I did tape my like a sticker with my address label or a business card on the back. The second one, and the one that I absolutely love, is the little Chinese takeout box. And this one is for the charcoal mask. How I did this one is I taped my business card on the front, printed this off, laminated it so it's a little bit stronger, cut the hole in the top. Again, a 2-year-old looks like they did it, and hot glue it to a popsicle stick. All of this you can get at a craft store, dollar store, whatever. Again, tape the pen on, like it's up for war. As my husband said, he's like, well, you really have those little things ready to go into battle. And I'm like, yeah. I love these. They're small, they're concise. Just note that I did tape the bottom of some of them, and they're kind of like, and I hot glue, like, make sure you can open them up to get the names out. Takeaways on this, I like this one better. It's smaller and more people enter to win a charcoal mask anyway. That's what I'm kind of finding with my results. In the past, I had done like super cute, like shabby chic jars, and just some other things, but I just found that, you know, facial boxes go to facial box heaven. Sometimes they disappear. With the jars, people thought they were like tip jars and I was making money. It's like really funny. If you have an assistant, might I recommend having her do that? For somebody you can hire, I would really recommend delegating it. This is not an income producing activity, and it does take some time, so just kind of keep that in mind as well. So I made up 30 of them. I got them out the first week of January. And I really just kind of made a game plan and went to some places I thought would maybe be willing to let me put them out. So like dry cleaners, nail salons, coffee shops, gyms, floral shops, bakeries, places like that. And you know what? I've done facial boxes before this round, and I learned this from that director. The less you say, the better. I was the type of person that would walk in and be like, hi, I'm Lauren Peterson, blah, blah, blah. And they're just like, what is your point? And so you know what I did? I walk in and I say, hi, can I leave this here for your customers to enter to win? And they're like, yeah, set it over there. Like, they don't care. That's it. Like, that's all I said. And they said, okay. Typically, if they're Chains, you're going to have a harder time getting in. Whereas if they're locally owned, they're usually very good about helping you out and letting you in. If there's lots of draw slips available, talk to your director. They will have them available to you. And it's just a way that we don't take anybody's customer. Obviously, contact them as well. That's what I did. And I went out and I put 30 of these out. And then you just book those people. And again, I'm not going to give you the scripts that I use because there's a million scripts out there and they all work. It's not what's the better script. It's just about sitting down and being really consistent with it and following up. And so talk to your director about that if you need scripts. And then I played, referral games, and that's it, right? And I am a super busy mom of three. We have a lot of excuses and we all have different lives. And for my busy life with three little ones, a husband that works full time, sometimes later hours, and also, like with a 4-month-old, by like 7 or 8 at night, I'm done like dinner. It's over for Lauren. And so I have decided I only am working on Saturdays, and I work a full day on Saturday, 8-hour days, and I book 11, 2, and 5:30, and I triple book. And so what happened was in the last 2 Saturdays, I saw 18 faces each Saturday. So in 2 days of work, I saw 36 faces. So I basically hammered out my Power Start in 2 days in January. It's all about working smarter, not harder. And that works really well for my life. It works really well for my business. It works well for my family. If that's not you and you want to work multiple times a week or whatever, like have at her. Doesn't really matter. It's whatever is best for you. It's, I heard something the other day. It's not about how your life fits into Mary Kay. It's how Mary Kay fits into your life, right? That's what's so amazing about this business. And so figure that out for yourself and kind of schedule that way. So I just really recommend that if you haven't yet, maybe try it. As somebody who does not love them, as somebody who was like, meh, meh, you got to go do it. And again, with that being said, you can't go put 5 facial boxes out, you guys, and have come across so many consultants that get so discouraged and they're like, facial boxes don't work and this isn't working and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you got 5 out. What do you think is going to happen? You have to get them out in the masses. Like I said, I have 30 out. So if I check and 20 of them have no names in them, but 10 of them have 2 names each, that's 20 leads, and that's a win for me. But if you only have 5 out and they have 0 leads in them, you're going to be discouraged. You're not going to think this works. Da, 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 da. This is a numbers game sometimes. It's like I said, they'll go to facial box heaven. People who are like, yeah, you can have them in. Suddenly they're like, oh, just kidding. Like my boss said I couldn't. Or they'll be duds, right? So if you have 5 out and those 5 things happen, suddenly you have none out, right? You've got to get them out in the masses. And so, for example, I had 30 out. By the next week, I only had 25 out just because one went to heaven. And then like a couple other people said, oh, sorry, our bosses said we couldn't, right? Well, I still had 25 out. Like those 5 didn't really faze me at all. So I think that that's really important as well that you note. If you are somebody that maybe lives in a small town, but you have like multiple small towns around you or bigger centers around you, there are text to win options as well. Go to your director. Your director should definitely have them. Another really big thing too is every time I go in to check my places, I am bringing goodies for them. I think that that's really important that you treat them like royalty, because without them, you wouldn't have any leads. The first round, I get them out. And then when I came to check them the first time, I brought like lots of samples and goodies for them. And just like, here's some samples, here's some goodies, I appreciate you. Next week, here's some samples, here's some goodies, I appreciate you. By the next week, they're like, oh, what'd you bring this week? Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like really funny that you build that relationship with them, right? As for how long to keep them out, that's up to you. Don't put a time on it. Like, don't go in there and be like, I'm gonna be this then for a month. Don't do that. Then you just put a limit on yourself. Like, what if you get one that's super hot and you get like 10 names a week? You don't want to only have it in there for a month. You want to have it in there forever. I just say, okay, I'll be back next week. Last but not least, and this is a secret, super, super hot tip for you, is see if they'll let you put it in the bathroom. Because I have found that I get massive amounts of leads when they let me put it in the restroom. That is where I've gotten the most leads, is when they let me put it in the women's restroom. So I have like 2 gyms that are the exact same. They're owned by the same place. One I have on like the cubby, you know what I mean, where people put their gym bags and all that, and that one's doing really well. Well, the other one, they let me put it in the women's locker room restroom, right where you like wash your hands, like constantly overflowing. If you are somebody who is paralyzed by going in to do this, paralyzed by having to go in and do this, I recommend starting on the phone, because you call, they say yes, well then you go in and you've already had this conversation and they're like, oh yeah, waiting for you, here's where you can put it. So that's a really great option for you as well, until you're comfortable enough to actually go in and do kind of the cold call thing. That was all over the map. All of it has merit, so hopefully you're taking notes and hopefully this helps you in some way, shape, or form. But that's kind of my how I went from 0 leads to over 300. It was getting 30 facial boxes out. It was booking the people. It was getting referrals. That's basically how I did it, you guys. It's incredible. It's amazing. I have a ton of leads. I'm really excited. I still have boxes out, still utilizing those. And like, if you are somebody who is stuck where I was on January 1st with no leads, feeling really icky about yourself and just like, I'm so sick of being in the same place. Like, ugh, like I needed this. Then you need to go do what I just taught you. And you will be amazed at what can happen with a bit of hard work and determination. Okay, so I hope that you all have a wonderful day. All right, have a great day. Mwah.